Good morning, girls. I feel like everyone just gets let in and then
Morning, Kristen.
good
Good
morning,
morning.
Cassie. Sarah, is that a new
Morning.
is your Zoom a new picture? It's a good picture of you.
My content person did it for me.
I love that. The color is like really poppy.
Yeah, I like whatever she's doing for tints on it.
Yes, I love that. Oh, yay, Tabitha's here. I'm so excited. I haven't seen her forever. Hi, Tabitha. I was just saying I'm excited you're here.
Hi, how are you?
Good. All right, let's get everybody in. I'm really excited to introduce you guys to Robin today. You got some sun, Tabitha.
I just get I've been outside nonstop and I just get red for everything. So it could be hot, it could be sun. I just don't know anymore.
I know, I feel like I'm in the sun all the time. So everyone's like, "You're so tan." I'm like, I just feel like anytime I can be in the sun, I want to. I feel like, especially if I'm like, I had a cold. You guys, I had a cold for, I think this is like week 3, whenever Memorial Weekend was. And I started to feel sick again last week, and I went to the river and I just like laid in the sun, and I swear it made me better.
That makes me better.
It
Yeah,
does.
that
It
fixes
really does.
everything.
Even though when
Mhm.
you feel like crap, the last thing you want to do is get out of like your comfy bed. Hi Danielle. Hi Christy. Okay, yay. I think we should just get started. We already started recording. So, um, I am excited because Shine Pages has kind of been something I think I've been using your product, Robin, for like maybe 3 years now. For literally, you guys, I have like probably 15 click funnels I've built through her and 3 websites, and it's just so easy, user friendly. And I love knowing that I have Robin to call if I need any help, and the team and the support staff that she has is amazing. And recently I found out that we could offer you girls templates that I've already built, which that's like a huge part of being able to plug and play and make your guys' lives a lot easier. So I just wanted to have her on here to talk more about how we can utilize ClickFunnels and all the things. So, anyways, Robin, you can totally just take it away and I'll stop talking.
Awesome. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. And I first of all, I have to say, and I was just talking to Courtney before this, and I was saying like I just love what you're doing with Hello Culture. I think it's so cool. I think all of you
Yeah.
guys as chapter leaders, like building these communities across the country, like it's so freaking cool and it's so needed. And I just think like congrats to you all for what you're doing because I think it's really cool. So
Thank you.
yeah, and then I also just wanted to say hi to Sarah Binns Crawford because I was chatting with her.
I know.
I
Thank you.
sent you a message, I sent you a video, and then we chatted back and forth. So I'm excited to I actually used your site. I like replicated it onto like a demo that I'm going to share with you guys all today. So you might
Oh,
recognize some
good.
of your things because that's what I'm going to
Cool.
show today. So
Yay.
yeah, let me share my screen if I'm able to here. All right, let me just bring this up and share this. Okay. So first of all, again, thank you for having me. I'm excited to kind of share more about what you can do with Shine Pages. You obviously don't have to use Shine Pages. There's a lots of different platforms out there that you can use, but I really think that our whole goal is to make things more streamlined and simplified so that you can kind of do everything all in one place. If you already have a website on a different platform, or you're using, Flowdesk for your emails, or you're using Google Forms for something, or you're using StanStore for something, you absolutely can continue to use that and just incorporate Shine Pages as a simple kind of landing page. But I also wanted to make sure you all know and are aware of how you could use it to actually replace some of those things and just get everything kind of consolidated together in one place. You don't have to use those different platforms if you don't want to, but you surely can if you do. So here's what I wanted to kind of go over in general. First of all, how to kind of customize if you are using the templates that were provided to you. Um, how to make them your own, how to use the pictures, swap out pictures, swap out language, swap out links, etc. So we'll kind of just do an overview on that. But then I also wanted to show you like how you could use this as your place for, landing pages, opt-in pages. If you wanted to build out, if you don't already have one, if you wanted to build out like a personal brand website on ShinePages, you could, and have everything tied together with your funnels, etc. So you could kind of do that together. You can do email marketing from here. You can do appointment booking from here if you wanted to have people set up, a discovery call to talk with you about, what the chapter is involved with. So you really can kind of do a lot all in one place. And so I wanted to show you some things and then also open it up for questions, because that's what I'm here for. And if you guys have started this or dabbled around, or if you have any questions about how things work, that is what I'm here for. So,
Real quick, Robin,
yeah,
I don't know if Courtney gave you this context. I think you already know this, but I definitely love the talk around everyone building their personal brand, just because everybody is, they're top performing real estate agents who are now building a community. And
yeah,
sometimes I think the confusion of what does my website look like, because I'm attracting entrepreneurs and buyers and sellers. So just keeping that in mind, I think is definitely something I wanted to mention.
yeah, absolutely. So, and that is something that I think there might be, some like confusion about. You absolutely get these templates from you guys, from Kristen and from Courtney. You guys have these beautiful templates that are so nice because they're built and ready to go. You can just kind of swap it out for your own information, right? But you can infuse your personality, you can infuse your details, and like I said, potentially build out your own personal brand website. And that could be something that we'll talk about as well. So within ShinePages, it's important to note that you can either build funnels or websites. And you're going to build them the exact same way. You're going to be in the builder, which is the tab we're on now. In the builder, you can easily change out to whatever, your city is, just by changing language, uh, whatever that might be, and swapping out pictures for your own pictures. So you can just change out things easily to your own, version of things. So I'm going to change this background here. You can change out a background of a column. You can add in images. You have a full place to like have a repository of all of your own things. So this is going to be the same whether you're building a funnel or a website page. This is set up. The two funnels that were provided to you were actually provided as funnels, but I'm going to show you how you can also create a website and have the funnels kind of nested beneath that website as well. But first, again, you're going to do all of the changes like I'm showing you now. You can swap out pictures, you can add in new pictures, you can upload your own files so that you can just have a whole repository of all of your images here. We also have the ability to have, images from like stock images that you put in here. I'm just going to grab one of these and select it. And when you do that, it's going to swap out to your own. Okay, so that's kind of simple and easy to do. And then if anything in here, you're like, I just kind of want, instead of, 3 boxes across, instead you're like, actually, I have one more thing that I'm going to offer for my chapter, and I want there to be 4 boxes across instead, right? You can easily do that as well by just adding in new blocks and or changing the blocks and the sizing of things that are on the page itself. So within ShinePages, it's really easy to just kind of pull and drag across the page to create the pages and the layouts that you want. You can also add in a new block. And we have tons of different block templates for all sorts of different things, kind of to create home pages, to create landing pages, to create things that have 2 boxes across or 3 boxes across or 4 boxes across. So you can kind of pick any one of these and then just pop it in. And that's going to provide you that new section on your page where then you could have 4 different things across. All right. If you ever wanted to move something from one page to another, you can also do that, or move something to one area of another. You can simply grab it. You can copy that widget, whether it's an image, maybe it's an entire block, and then you're going to see those things saved in your saved elements. So if I wanted to take that picture and move it somewhere else, I can just copy and paste that picture, and I have this image widget here. I can just move it wherever I want on the page, and that's going to show up like this. You can easily just make it smaller or bigger as you kind of need to. Okay, so you're able to kind of move around things on the page as you will. Now again, that's going to be the same whether you're working in a funnel or if you're working in a website. Now, again, I know that you have the two funnels that were created for you. There's the main one that we're working on, which has the landing page. And from what I understand, this is the one page that you're using. The funnel itself actually has other kind of steps within the funnel, but I don't think you guys are using any of those currently, right, Kristen? Yeah. So, and that's fine. Any of the buttons that you have on here, you can link out to wherever, but I wanted to show you that you could actually kind of combine the two funnels together if you wanted to. And this is what I was showing Sarah a little bit on the video I recorded. And I actually came up with another way that you could do it as well. But if you wanted to have some of your buttons, for example, let me just delete some of this stuff. Maybe if you wanted to say, like, check out our upcoming events, for example, and you wanted this to link to an events page, and you wanted to have the same domain, so hello culture charlotte.com/events, instead of having them as two separate funnels, which is kind of how they are here now, you can easily just make the page that is this events funnel page. So this kind of look where it has this block on top and then upcoming events, these different blocks with all the different upcoming events, those could instead be a second step or a second page within a funnel. Websites and funnels kind of work the same way. It's just a series of pages. Website pages are, usually a home page, an about page, a services page, a work with me page, a contact page. And I kind of think of website pages as like they're horizontal to each other. As you're like clicking between them, you're just swapping out which one people are seeing. Versus a funnel, it's the same exact thing, but the pages are like stacked vertically on top. So there's really only one way for people to go. Versus a website, you want them to be able to kind of toggle around and see different things and go to different pages. Typically, a website has at the top of it a menu. People can go to different pages. Whereas a funnel, you kind of don't have a website header at the top. You instead are just making them go exactly in the order you want them to go in by having those pages stacked vertically. For example, a sign up page and then right after it, a thank you page. Again, I don't think you're using this right now, but this is an option for you to use if you wanted to have multiple pages for people to use, all contained in one place. So I'm going to show you if you wanted to have a page that was your events page, but you wanted it to be together with your main domain, your main website main funnel page for your specific chapter. So I'm going to take this sign up page. Let me just clear this out here. And I can move any of the blocks from here to a new page on my main funnel, or what's kind of acting as if it's a website, right? So I could take this block and I'm going to copy the block. And then I'm going to just copy down the page. Maybe not all of these events. I'm not sure how many are current or not. I'm going to copy a few of them. Just copy, copy, copy. And let's go down to the bottom, make sure this block is copied. Maybe this block and this block. Okay, so I've just copied a bunch of blocks. Now I'm going to go into my main Hello Culture funnel. And again, right now I'm just using this main landing page, but I could either use any of these pages that are included with the funnel, or let's just add a brand new step. And I'm going to call this one, I'm going to make it a blank empty page because I'm going to fill it with those blocks that I copied. I'm going to call this one events. So now I have a blank page and I just can pull these different containers that I copied. I can now paste them onto the page. Paste, paste. You just kind of pull them out. Whoops, I did that one twice. And this way you are creating a new page. I think I did that one twice too, but that's okay. There we go. So now I have a one funnel that has the landing page, and then this events page. If I wanted to, I could just move this events page up by dragging it. And now when I want to have for example, on my main page where it says, check out my events, check out our upcoming events, I'm just going to link to that new page that I created in the same funnel. When things are in the same funnel, they're going to be able to share a contact list. They're going to be able to share your branding. They're going to be able to share your store if you set items up in your store. They're going to be able to have everything kind of together all in one place. So you can just link to that by clicking on the button, linking to it. And instead of going out to some other page for events, you're just going to click on the funnel itself. And I'm going to choose to link to that new events page that I just created by copying and pasting the blocks. So that's just one way to kind of consolidate things together in one place. Sarah, I know that you were having questions about that. Does that help you for that specific question?
It does. Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah. So then your domain is going to be yourdomain.com/events because you just named the page events. If you named the page something else, then it would be yourdomain.com/whatever you name it. So
Okay.
this way it's just going to be events.
Yeah.
Now, I did want to show you guys some other things. Again, you are welcome to keep whatever you're doing, but I wanted to show you how you could set up some other things so that you can create opt-in forms and have them be right here on your page so that you can collect and have all of your contacts all in one place. You can set up your memberships so that you can have and sell your membership to your chapter here in one place, or other things that you might, event fees, etc., that you might want to charge for. So I'm going to go through some of the tabs along the top just to show you some of these other features that you can use if you're not already tapped into them and using them. Again, the goal here is to make it so that you just are streamlining your systems, you're kind of simplifying and being able to kind of have everything in one place. That's the goal. So if I go here into my store, this is where you'd be able to set up different products. So in the store along the left-hand side, you'll see the word products. This is where you can add different types of products. Now you can set up people can set up different products to sell, like physical goods. These are going to have like shipping fees, digital download products. So if you ever wanted to sell, an ebook or something that's going to be, a downloadable, that would be where you could sell that. And immediately upon purchase, it will then send it off to the person and they would be able to download it. A service. This is probably what you're going to be setting up for most of your like chapter fees, your membership fees. If you do like like one-off type event fees, they're all probably going to be set up as services. This is kind of the catch-all that doesn't have any of the specific things that the other types of products do. And then membership is a little different. This is where somebody becomes a member of your website. They would then be able to log in and see members only content. So, recordings of videos, or you could have all of your downloads on a special page, and that page could be members only. Anytime somebody buys a membership type of product, it then puts them into a member group, and you can make any of your pages be accessible to just one member group or a few different member groups. Like you get to set up however different member groups you want, but that's what a membership product is. It gives people access to members only content on your pages. Okay. But again, for most like your membership fees, so it's a little confusing in terms of language, like membership fees versus a membership product. You would set your membership fees up probably as a service if you're not wanting them to get access to members only content on your website. Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. So service product, you're just going to name it like, monthly membership, or whatever you want to name your product. You can put an image in for your product. You can set your price. I'm not sure what your prices are, but whatever that might be. And if you are on our Glow plan or above, then you can have it be ongoing every month charge. So that's just going to ongoing charge them on a monthly basis for that. Again, if you're setting this up as, a one-time event fee for a special event that's hosted, like everybody has different prices, etc., that would just be the one-time payment. But again, if you're on our Glow plan, you can have a subscription payment for monthly recurring. Okay. And then you just are going to choose, you could set up your products here, the product URL, any variations. You can tag customers that have paid for this specific thing. So again, here is you're able to say, I want, this is my monthly membership, monthly members, membership buyer. And this way, you're able to really segment your audience. Maybe you have a tag on the product that's the one-time event fee. Those can be event buyers, right? So you can tag people in different ways. And that way, no matter what kind of action they're taking on your pages, they're filling out a form, they're buying something, they are booking an appointment with you, whatever it is they're doing on your site, you can tag them, and then that way you can pull lists based on their different activities on your site, or what they're doing on your site. You can segment your list and send only certain emails to certain people. Okay, so you can set all of this up. You have a product image that you can add. Okay, so you have now, this is in your store. Stay and save. Did I save it? Move our faces. Save changes. Okay, so when you have either a funnel or a website with funnels nested beneath it, you automatically have a built-in store, a built-in cart, a built-in checkout. It's all included. And so you don't really need to do anything with that. If you have our Glow Planner above, you can also add a checkout widget to any page. So you could have a full page and at the bottom, there can be a checkout, or the standard process, which was, add to cart and then go to a cart, checkout. I'll show you what that looks like. But when you have your monthly membership product set up, the only thing you need to do in terms of collecting the actual payment is in the settings of the store. You'd put in your details here, your name, etc. And then for payments, you can connect to Stripe or to PayPal, or we have a number of other merchant accounts that we work with. So if you have any of these other payment providers, you can work with them as well. Most people are using Stripe or PayPal. So you can just connect your account there. It's like a one-click thing to connect it. And now any of the money that you get is going to automatically go through to your bank through Stripe. Okay. This is how you would set up the store. And then in your actual builder, you have the ability to say, buy a membership. If I wanted to click and have this be like, yep, get access, what I would do is I would then just move this to link it to a store item. Which item? You choose the one you just created, the one called monthly membership. And you can either just have it open in a new tab, which I'll do first, but you also can have it just automatically add to cart and then take them to the checkout. So I'll show you what that looks like in both ways. One, you can just have them buy that thing. Oops, did I save? I don't know that I did. Let me just hit save. All right. So now if I say membership access, it takes to the product page. You can make this page look different. You can style this page however you'd like, but then you click buy now, takes them to the cart. You can add discount codes, promo codes, whatever that might be. They would complete the order and check out. So that's all kind of built in and ready to go. You just need to create the product and hook up your Stripe, and it's all set and ready to go. If instead you didn't want them to go to the product page first and then the cart, you could also do it like this, where instead of having it open as a product page, you can just say, nope, just have them add it to the cart and then send them straight to the checkout. All right, so in that case, the process would look like this. Membership access takes them straight to the cart. There's two things in here because I already had something in the cart, but that's how it would look. So just straight over to the cart and it's already added. So that is another thing that you could do to, again, potentially, if you wanted to, cut out some of the other things you're using and just kind of have everything built into one place. In terms of the contacts screen, now this is where you can upload contacts. If you have contacts in any other system right now, if you wanted to import a list of contacts, you can. But also as people buy things, fill out forms, book appointments with you, whatever it might be, they're all going to show up here in your contact screen. So I can also manually add a contact. Okay, and then you'll see in this contact record, there's lots of different details that you can have all of your contacts in one place, and you'd be able to, again, tag them, segment them in different ways, add them to different email lists, be able to make notes on that contact record. You'd be able to see all of the activity for that contact. They have booked an appointment, they have opened an email, they have made a purchase. You'd be able to just get a running list of everything that contact has done all in one place. You can add notes to that contact, see what forms they have filled out, what orders they've placed, etc. If you wanted them to not only be a contact in your system, but also a subscriber, meaning they can also get emails from you from ShinePages. If you're using another email marketing software, then you don't need to worry about this. But if you wanted to use ShinePages for your email marketing, then you just subscribe them. Or again, they can be automatically subscribed by filling out a form, or by buying something. You can automatically subscribe them. But this way, I'm manually subscribing them to whatever list I want. These are my members. And I'm choosing them there. Now they are on this member list. I can also manually add tags here. They're a new lead, whatever kind of tags you want to add to their record. And again, you're going to see little running tally of all the activities for that contact. So how would you actually get people to be a contact in your system? Again, you can import them, but you also can have something where, yes, I'm interested in, join my newsletter or whatever it might be. You can say, yep, I just want to add a form. So you just add a form wherever you'd like on your pages. And then this form can say name, email, maybe I don't need subject, probably don't need message, but I'm going to say, hey, for example, join my newsletter, right? Okay, so then I'm going to collect name and email from them. And in the settings of where they would put in their name and email, I'm going to call this one newsletter opt-in. Right? I can get an email, so I know every time somebody fills this out, I can change this to heck yes, sign me up, whatever you want it to say. And then the action can be, just show them a basic thank you message on the screen, little thing that pops up, thank you, look, check your email, right? Or you can also maybe create a new page that's like a thank you for joining my newsletter page. Maybe there's a video of you on it saying, I can't wait to talk to you all about the events we have planned, blah, blah, blah. I'm so glad you decided to get involved. Here's the next steps for you. Join my Facebook group, whatever you want them to do next. You could create a page for them and send them to that page. And then here you'd be able to just say, okay, now that they're filling out this form, I'm going to tag them. They're my newsletter leads. I can't spell when I'm in front of people, apparently. And then add them right here to a list. Maybe we have a new list of newsletter list. So again, you are able to automatically collect their name and email. It automatically puts them on an email list. And then you can automatically send out emails to them using the built-in emails and automations feature of ShinePages. So again, you can keep what you have. You can import them into another email marketing platform. We also have direct integrations with MailChimp, MailerLite, ActiveCampaign, GetResponse, Aweber, and Moosend. We have connections already there. So immediately when they put this information in here, it also zaps them over there and puts them in there. But also you're just going to have a running list of all of these new contacts that are going to be coming in, and you'll be able to house them in this one place. Okay, I can get rid of this one here. You can also style this. It doesn't need to be a black button at the bottom. Any of the forms or any elements on the page, you can style. So I can make, the button be this red color. I can have my text be a totally different font. I can have the text button color be different colors. I can change the sizing of it, boldness, yes or no, the letter spacing. If you can see that red button changing there. I can change the radius on the buttons, the border size, if there is a border, etc. All of those different things. Okay, so you can really make it branded and consistent across the board. Okay, so that's a little bit about adding in forms and then where the contacts would go. And then I'm also going to talk about appointments. If you guys would need this, you also can set up any types of booking events. So this kind of replaces a Calendly or something like that. You can just put up, discovery call or what might be, description here. The location, this is your Zoom link, would go here, put that in there. And then our meeting reminder can go out, 30 minutes beforehand. Yes, you want to email them. And then here you're going to add yourself. You are the operator, your name, email, etc. You can connect it to your Google Calendar. And then you will be able to get all of these added directly to your calendar. They would be able to add it to their calendar. You can set your availability here. This is a 30-minute call, every day or Mondays through Fridays, check your calendar. You can just put in any availability you want, just like Calendly. You can ask them any questions that you'd like beforehand so they can fill out any of these things. You can add in phone number, address, city, state, zip, etc., or make up your own questions like you can with like a Google form. So you can ask them questions that are long answers, short answers, drop down answers, radio button answers, checkbox answers, whatever kind of questions you want to ask them as part of this. And then the confirmation, again, can be a basic confirmation message saying, hey, thanks for booking, look forward to talking to you, or make a thanks for booking page in your funnel or on your website. And then you can send them to that thank you page right here by saying custom page. And then you just choose where you're sending them. You're sending them to your whatever page you created. In this case, I could create a new page called thank you, right? So you could send them to that thank you page. So those are the options for the appointments. And then real quickly, in terms of emails and automations, you can set up one-time email blasts that you set the time and date when they want to go out to your entire list. Or you can set up automations where you are automatically, when somebody fills out this form, boom, they get the email, then they get another email, then they get another email. And then once they hit the certain goal, they exit from the email. So you can really kind of nurture your list and segment them based on those different tags that you can add to their contact record when they're making those different actions across your site. So I just kind of went over a lot. I went over the builder, the store, the context automations, et cetera, really quickly. I wanted to just pause really quick and see if there's questions on any of those things or if there's something else I can focus on and show you guys.
Is anybody using the templates outside of me and Sarah? I know we just kind of rolled them out.
I think this is so cool because it eliminates all the other miscellaneous things that you have to connect to your website.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Yeah, it's definitely a good option. I know that so many of, myself included, like you get started with, like you're building your business. You're like growing it, you're moving, you're hustling, you're like doing things. And so you're like, I'm just going to get this because this is what I've heard of and it's great. And I'm going to start with that. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, and I need to add this calendar thing. Oh, I need to add this email thing. Oh, I need to add this website thing. Oh, I need this landing page thing. And all of a sudden you've got like all these different little pieces that you're putting together. And so it does take a little minute to be like, oh, like I have to kind of rethink about how I could flow that better. But it really does, I think, allow you to just simplify, streamline things, kind of get rid of some different logins, get rid of some monthly payments if you're paying for different things, right? It kind of allows you to streamline and simplify that way. And it also just is like your branding can be really cohesive across the board because you have just one, you can set your branding here for your styles, like your color palettes, all of your fonts are going to flow across all of your pages because they're set in one place. And you, of course, you can change things like, yes, if you wanted to come in and change just one area to something different, yes, you could. But the idea is that you want it to be consistent. You want it to like flow across everything. So they have set this up so that the branding, the colors, the fonts, etc., will be consistent across. You can change it to your own if you'd like, but this is the idea to have everything really consistently branded for Hello Culture. So again, you can make it your own, you can keep it consistent. It allows you to do that with one click versus having to like individually change every little thing.
Yeah.
So I have two questions.
Yeah.
One is there a max on how many different pages you can have?
So it depends on which plan you are on. On our Spark plan, which is like our starter plan, there is a maximum number of total pages. You get one website with 20 pages and one active funnel at any given time. You can have inactive funnels and websites on your project as well, but one active website and one active funnel. There are a limit to the number of pages and the number of products. You can have 5 products, 20 pages, one funnel.
And if
On
you started off with one, you could just upgrade if you needed to.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. And then our Glow plan is one website, up to 5 active funnels at any given time. And then it also comes with that ability to do the subscription payments, the monthly ongoing recurring payments that you can set up in the store. You can also do quizzes as well with the Glow plan. So that's kind of fun. So it's kind of like a form where people would fill out a form, but depending on their, answer to the quiz, then you can send them to different results pages too. So that's an option on the Glow plan.
And then my other question is, do you know if when you get those contacts, like when people sign up for things and you get those contacts, would it integrate with Flowdesk if you wanted to continue using Flowdesk?
Right. We do not have a direct integration with Flowdesk. Like I said, we have like MailerLite, MailChimp, those other ones we have that direct integration with, where it automatically zaps the two between each other. With Flowdesk, you can do a couple things. One, you can, import, export your lists back and forth between the two platforms. Just do an export, do an import. You can also use Zapier to connect the two. I believe Flowdesk also has a widget that you can add in to a website so that it's basically their contact form and it would just go right into Flowdesk. If you do it with their little inline form widget added to a page, you can add any little widgets to any pages. So here's all of our widgets. One of the widgets is a code widget. Where did it go? Is it down here? Code widget. So if you drag the code widget out to the page, you just paste in the little thing from Flowdesk, paste it, and then their form would show up. The one thing to note about that is that now all of your contacts would be over there. You wouldn't be collecting contacts here. So
Oh,
it's
okay,
fine,
gotcha.
but just to know, like you might want to choose to collect the contacts here or import them. It's up to you. You can do it, import, export, use Zapier, or use their inline form.
Got
Yeah,
it. Thank you.
I even just get an email and like literally I just copy and paste it into Flowdesk. It's I feel like it's not very like very crazy at all. So I don't even have Zapier or anything.
Yeah.
Robin, I think that Mariah has a question that I also have a question on. So if you were talking to, any of these girls and they were using, let's say, the website option as, their personal brand, and then they have because a lot of them have things like CRM systems that are websites that are IDX for real estate, but they're not like
Yeah.
their good website, right? So then
Mhm.
if I have a personal brand and I want people to go and see that, like if they're buyers and sellers, they go one way, or if they're looking for a membership, they go the other, like visually, what would you suggest that they do?
Yeah. So you can have it where, let me show you one example. So I'm going to add a new website to this. This is going to be totally different branding but you could change it to your own. But I'm just going to add a website in here. We have one that's kind of a real estate type of website. So something like this, again, close this. Okay. This is an example of a website. You can tell we're in the builder. It's still the same builder. The colors and the fonts on this one are set up for this website. Let me show you what happens if you, I'm just going to duplicate this one. So I'm going to duplicate this funnel. And then I'm going to move that funnel. Example 1. I'm going to just scooch it and I'm going to move it to the website. Okay, so you can see I moved this funnel that I duplicated. So this is the copy. I moved this copy into the website itself. So now this website has one funnel nested below it, right? So now it has this, and it takes on the colors of the website, right? The website had those kind of colors and those kind of styles. So, and you can change those. If this should be the bright pink, you can have it be a bright pink. You know, it can be changed so that it is the right branding colors, etc. But then on the actual website page, I would probably have it, say either search all homes or join a community. Like I would kind of have it be a page where it's maybe two sections, like enter this one or enter this one. You could kind of separate it into two different things. This has properties, who I've helped, etc., how we grow. This is mainly just like a personal website, I guess. But you could also have a menu in here. And in my menu, I can say, join my community. And I would link them to the funnel that's nested below this website. So that copy that I moved over, this Hello Funnel example, I'll link them to that funnel. And then I'm going to say that that one is called Join the Community.
What's the difference between you linking it to the funnel domain versus nestling it underneath?
Yeah, good question. So when you have a standalone funnel, it has its own builder with its own global styling set up. It has its own totally separate store. It has its own totally separate contacts. It has its own totally separate appointments, its own totally separate emails and automations. It's like its own thing on its own domain. If you have one website that has the nested funnels beneath it, they're all going to share the styling that you've set in the builder. They're all going to share the store and the stripe links and all the things that you've set up in your one store. They're going to share the websites, store, builder, contact lists, appointments, emails, and automations. They're going to share all of that together in one place. And that way you also, if you wanted to, you don't have to, but if you wanted to, you can have them all on one domain. If
Okay.
they're all separate individual funnels, like different standalone funnels, which some people want because they're like, I want it to be, they're kind of like different businesses, totally different businesses. And I want that contact list and those styling and that Stripe link to be a completely separate entity, then it's great to keep them as standalone funnels. If you want them all like kind of together, everything in one place, housed under one domain, everything, you can still have them separate domains too if you wanted to, but if you wanted the option of having them under one domain, then having a website with nested funnels is the way to have it under one domain and share contact lists, share store setups, share settings, share branding, all the things.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. And
Okay.
then Mariah has one more question. Is it possible to have a website and then connect two funnels, one
Yeah.
for real estate and one for Hello Culture?
Yeah, absolutely. So another option that you can do is you can have one website that's literally just you. This is, Tracy Kennedy, whatever it is, right? It's not even a group. It's just literally you. It's a picture about you, etc. And then down below, there can be two different options. These, again, can be funnels that you can link them to two different funnels nested beneath your website. Let's just see. I'm just going to show you just to kind of give you an example. Let's just say this has two different things, right? This can be all about your community. This can be about your Hello Culture. This can be about your real estate, whatever you want it to do, right? This button could link to your Hello funnel, your Hello Culture funnel. This could link to a real estate funnel. Absolutely. You're just linking. It's just creating pages and linking to them, creating funnels and linking to them. Funnels are just pages. So in essence, it's just pages. You're linking to pages. But yes, you could do that separately. But also you could put them as funnels, but also you can just create them as pages in your site. Like you don't necessarily need to create them as a funnel. The benefits of a funnel typically are that, again, you are keeping people really directed as to one action you want them to take. Typically, a funnel is to like sell something. Let's say you're doing advertising And instead of sending people to a website, because you're paying hard-earned dollars to send somebody to a website, when you send somebody to a website, the whole point of a website is to get people to browse and go to different pages, and you want them to spend time looking at all the different things you offer. That's a website. If you send people to a funnel instead, it's like you're putting the blinders on for them and you're like, here's the one action I want you to take. And it's all about that. It's all about taking them from one step to the next step to the next step, and only in the order you want them to do. So typically one page has one action step. Sign up for this thing. So of signing up for membership, you could absolutely take them to a funnel that's just all about signing up for the membership, right? As a chapter leader, you're going to tell them all about your chapter and sign them up. But also, you could instead just do it as a page on your website. There could be a new page. This could be my chapter page. And on any page of your website, you could also just hide your header and hide your footer. I'm going to just put some of these blocks in here just so you can kind of see what that looks like. All right, so I'm just kind of creating that page. This can just be a page of your site. It doesn't necessarily need to be a funnel. Funnels are great for seeing how people are moving through various steps of a funnel. Funnels are great because you can have a checkout on a funnel where there can be upsells, downsells, order bumps. Funnels, you can also do A/B split testing with your page to see, like, does this headline hit better than this headline? Which one converts better? So those are some like special features of a funnel that aren't necessarily website. They're just really for funnels. Upsells, downsells, A/B split testing, seeing exactly how people are moving through the steps of those funnels, really keeping people directed. But again, in this one, if I wanted to make this a page on my website, it could absolutely be, and I could just hide the header. I can hide the footer, and it looks just like a landing page. It looks like the start of a funnel, right? It looks exactly like, I mean, it doesn't because the branding is not the same, but in this case, like it looks like a landing page or a funnel because we hid the header and we hid the footer. It's just a page of your website. It's kind of a question as if you want to use it as a funnel because of the funnel features. Again, moving people from step to step and seeing the steps in the back end, you can really see, as people are moving through the steps, you see the conversion from one step to the next to the next. That's a great use of a funnel. You can set goals for a funnel. You can set a page to be an A/B split test. You can duplicate the page and change one thing and test it, see which one works better. With up checkouts, you can add upsells, downsells, order bumps, etc. on the Glow plan. So all of these things are like funnel features. So you absolutely can use all of these. Or if it's basically just a one page, it can also just be a page of a website. And you don't have to use a funnel for that.
That's very helpful.
Okay, great. Is there other questions? So again, in this, like if I was using this as a page of my website, then I would just link to this page. I can link to this page from any button on my page, or I can link to it from a menu. So I could say, add a menu item instead of join the community going to, let me move our faces again. Join the community was going to that funnel, right? I was having it go to the funnel, but I could also just have it go to a page of my website, that one I just created, the chapter page. So I can just change that it's linking instead of linking to a funnel. Now it says chapter page at the top, but if I wanted to change the display name, it could just be, join the chapter or join the community. So again, that can just link. Now it's going to link right to this page. So again, if I go to my home page and then I click on join the community, boom, there it is. So I can just, maybe make it link to a page or maybe link to a funnel. You can do it either way. And again, if you didn't want that to have the, headings hidden or not, you could change how if it's the header is hidden or not.
Awesome. Does anybody have any questions for Robin?
Robin, you guys have something where you can set a bunch of this up for us too, right?
Yes, we can set up, we have a full, the Shine directory, it's called, and that is people that set up things for other people. However, we also do have what's called a fast track plan where you can just pay like hourly and we'll do a bunch of this for you. We can kind of set things up for you. But also, I want everybody to know that really utilize like what ShinePages is really known for, obviously being this kind of simplified all-in-one affordable platform where you can kind of simplify and streamline, but we're also really known for our customer support. So like feel free always to reach out. We have our live chat support here. You can just start a new conversation. If you're in here and you're like, how do I link a button again? Or like, where do I move this? Or how do I, like I'm stuck. I'm trying to get it so that people can sign up for a lead magnet and it's not working, like whatever it might be, they're going to walk you through it. And there's actual humans. It's not a bot. We do have a bot too, but we try to not let the bot answer. Like that's the goal. If we're like ever really busy, then sometimes the bot will answer first, but a live human will hop in. We're open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Central Time in the US. We have customers across the world though. So we're always there. Live chat support is great. And then we also have our help like knowledge base here. So you can search for answers here. There's tutorials, videos, etc. And then really the place we say to start when you first load in your template is the training center, because that's going to like lead you through the first steps, the second step, the third step. Again, if you're kind of using the Hello Culture branding, you don't need to worry about this too much. But if you wanted to, just kind of go through these in order, it's like the first steps. The order in which to do things is listed out here, and that's just in a training center. I am personally one, I like to get in and just mess around with things. And if you're like that too, totally get it. And then afterward, I'm like, oh, I should have watched the video. That would have been helpful. But I am also one, I just kind of dive in. But there is really great videos and tutorials that really do step you through things. Or you can use the live chat support. And you can always email support@shinepages.com too. So if you have any questions.
Awesome. I'm going to post this video too in our resources and on our Facebook group too. So if anyone's like, okay, I'm going to do this and they need to go back, since she showed us like step by step, we will have that in there.
Yeah. And just again, you're gonna have the templates loaded. Kristen, I did when I was talking to Courtney, we were talking about maybe combining those two funnels into 2 pages of a funnel, or maybe
Yeah.
even having it be like a website with a nested funnel. So like we can kind of talk about that offline. And then maybe that's what's shared moving forward. But if anybody wants to do any consolidating, we can certainly step you through that in our live chat support.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay, awesome. All right, girls.
Yes.
It's so good to see everybody. And Robin, thank you again. You guys need to follow them on Instagram too. It's just ShinePages.
Thank you.
I
Yeah, it
forget
was so
if
great to
you,
be here.
yeah, I forget if you use your own personal page or if you use that one.
Yeah, ShinePages is the main one.
All
I
right,
have a personal
awesome.
page, but it's dinky. So,
Okay, awesome. And then you speak at events too, don't you?
yep.
Yeah. So always remember that too. She's a great contact for that. And you live in Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right,
Awesome.
girls. It was good to see everyone. Thanks again, Robin.
Thanks,
Thank
Robin.
you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.